Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Action Comics 175, 5 Against Superman. This is a pretty straightforward, simple story that I'm not going to have much to say about because it doesn't really do much. It revolves around 5, really only 4, who have suits or other mechanisms that give them superpowers that are related to Superman. They're not actually that hard of a challenge. Really, the problem is there's just 5 of them. So consistently, whenever they commit a crime, Superman's trying to stop whoever's trying to commit the crime at the time, and then the other one does something to distract him, like throw a boulder at Lois, because boulders just happen to be around Metropolis, right? Maybe they brought that boulder. It's a weird moment to think about. Where did they get that boulder in the middle of the city? It's not even Boulder, Colorado. It's Metropolis, wherever the hell that is. East Coast somewhere. It sometimes is clarified, sometimes it's not. It doesn't matter exactly where Metropolis is. It's a made-up city. So a criminal mastermind slash super genius, the Brain, because he has a massive head and presumably a massive brain. And honestly, in reality, having a really big brain doesn't prove that you're the smartest or smarter. But it's an interesting visual to get this across pretty quickly in a cartoon sense. He also kind of looks like a certain design of Mr. Mxyzptlk with a really big head. He gets 4 random criminals. Doesn't matter what their names are. I'm not even sure we get their names. I think we do, maybe? Each one is given a suit. And for the most part, the suits give them a specific power that Superman has, like X-ray vision, flight, and invulnerability. The last one has super strength, which he actually gets from a pill that gives him super strength for 3 minutes, which seems very low, especially if Superman's going to show up, because he has more than 3 minutes of super strength. But this plan seems to consistently work on crimes that honestly doesn't really prove that the Brain is a super genius, because these crimes aren't particularly all that well thought out. Mostly they rely on Superman getting distracted, which I guess is smarter than most criminals in Metropolis, so I guess I have to give him credit for that. Eventually, their idea is to kidnap Clark Kent. At least it's not Lois, but this also causes other problems, so it's maybe not the biggest mistake you can make in a Superman story, but it's a pretty big mistake. While the Brain leaves the 4 with Clark, Clark starts screwing with them, specifically making them all think they have their superpowers without their suits. And now that they think they don't need the suits or, say, the pill, they don't need the Brain, and the Brain's been taking a bigger share of the loot. Might as well get rid of him. So they free Clark. Wait, why do that if they still are going to try to screw with Superman? Oh, well, they're not thinking this through. They need the Brain. And while they turn on the Brain, Superman shows up and takes them all out. So really, the smart thing here Superman really accomplished was that they weren't going to be in their suits, which they already weren't, and he could have just turned on them at any moment at that time. But still, probably the most fun the comic has is Superman convincing them they all have their superpowers. And then he just takes them to jail. So yeah, not a particularly deep story. There's, like, I could have talked about each one of the crimes involving like an airplane, and there was trying to steal an electric component, but it's all just padding to the story, and that's being a little too mean. It's the fun, adventurous moments of the comic. There needs to be action in a comic called Action Comics. So there's at least 2 to 3 things where Superman fails until he succeeds, but this is the majority of Action Comic stories. And without much going on in between that, I enjoyed some of their costumes and how slapdash they looked. Okay, that is Action Comics 175, 5 Against Superman. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman, if I care to do it. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? What happened to these suits? Couldn't say random police officers put them on? I mean, the X-ray vision would have been helpful. And why didn't the X-ray vision pick up on the Superman costume under Clark? I guess he wasn't looking through people's clothes. Or Clark wears lead clothes. Okay, have a great day.